I can still see their angry faces as they stormed the manor. But I was dead before they found me.
Hello.
And the letter was on its way.
Hello, everyone. Science Viking here, and it's time to return to Darkest Dungeon. How many Vestals have we got? 1. So we have 1 Vestal, and she's Resolve level 1. That's gonna be a bit of a problem. The first thing we're gonna do is see if the Stagecoach has any. The Stagecoach does not have any more Vestals for us. And we only have 4,400 gold, so we're gonna need to take on a mission or two. Alright, let's sort by level then. And, an occultist can be a healer, but I'm not comfortable going into endgame level dungeons with an occultist as my main healer. So this Vestal is gonna need to get some experience. That's gonna be interesting. Alright. Which means these people are the only people I can send, pretty much. Okay, Bumper Crop. That's the event that makes town services free. It's also medium as opposed to being a short mission. Alright. Riviere is going. So is Darcy and Columbell. And since the remaining people are 2 occultists, one of the occultists is going. Alright, the Vestal has the abilities she ought to have. Unequip all trinkets. I'm not sure if I already did that before. Sort by character class restriction. And the main thing I want the Vestal to have is the Ancestor's Portrait. We need to level her up fast. What else should I give her? Let me see something. We're going to the Warrens. So disease is going to be a significant problem. So I'll give her the Hag's Ladle to give her blight and disease resistance. If possible, I want her to be available for a mission next week, so I want her to end this mission in a condition where she can go on another one. Let's see, Evasion Incense is okay. Unfortunately, we lost some really good trinkets. I'm going to have to take on the Shrieker to get those back. Now, what else can I give him? The Beast Slayer's Ring is okay, except he's not going to be the main damage dealer. This is kind of a low firepower team. I'll just give him the Hero's Ring. The extra Virtue chance can be good. Now for you, the Raider's Talisman, and then the Sickening Satchel, which is extra damage versus Blighted. And for our Man-at-Arms, we have no Man-at-Arms specific equipment, but we do have the Flesh's Heart and the Crew's Bell. I really don't want him to be knocked out of position, and the extra healing received could help since he's going to be our tank. Now, Poison Darts, Thrown Dagger, Flashing Daggers, and Pick to the Face. I like this combination. For you, you can use Sacrificial Stab in position 3, Weakening Curse, Vulnerability, Hex, and Demon's Pull. For you, Crush, Rampart, Defender, and Retribution, and we already checked the Vestal. As for camping skills, let's see. I think I'm going to drop Instruction for Tactics. The Occultist has all the camping skills he can have. Let's see. I definitely want Snuffbox to remove diseases. I think I'll give up Wound Care for Encourage, though. And for the Vestal, let's see. I'm going to drop Bless for Sanctuary, and drop... Oh, she can't learn... and drop Wound Care for Chant. I want a very stress management focused team, because I'd like these people to still be able to fight next week. Or at the very least, I'd like the Vestal to be able to fight next week. I can put her with a team of level 3 people if I if I have to. Though, even with the portrait, she's not going from resolve level 1 to resolve level 3 in one medium-linked mission. So I really need all of these people to be able to fight again next week. Decent number of shovels, plenty of torches. The warrens aren't the wield, but they're still pretty long. Lots of anti-venom. Decent handful of bandages. You're going to want a good number of medicinal herbs because they're a good way to get food. A couple of keys. I'm not bothering with holy water. I know it has trinket interactions in this area, but it doesn't have many. Alright. And I'll drop one more torch to get up to 12 food. 12 food plus medicinal herbs should be enough. If anything, I'm probably over-preparing, but I don't want anybody going hungry. We can't deal with the stress from that. We need to train up a team quick. Of course, that's mitigated by the loading screen times. Any day now. And here we go.
Even the fiercest beast will lay down when it is not eaten. Steal their food.
That was scouting and a half, so we're not going down here then. So we got a curio, a battle, quest location, curio, quest location, curio. Well, this is going to be easy. So the quest locations are here, here, and here. Oh, this is going to be a short trip. Of course, having said that, we're going to run into, like, a shambler or something. Alright, we surprised the enemy. Let's see how many of them we can get rid of before they get in action. That's
Back
one.
to the pit.
That's
Another
two.
abomination cleansed from our lands.
And that's three. Gotta love novice level missions and how easy they are.
Foolish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
The quest location is gonna have a battle. Yep, called it. Let's see, who do I want to hit most with? How much does it blight for? 3 points for 4 rounds. If this hits, that will actually solve the slasher problem pretty much completely. It will take 2 rounds for him to die, but I can accept that. Ugh, grody. Let's go with weakening curse on the chopper because I want him to have fewer protection. And as usual, stun the drummer because stress. And hook where it doesn't hurt, apparently. And let's see if we can stun this guy. We cannot. Fortunately, he has fewer protection and also does fewer damage. So let's set up poison darts against the chopper. Then I can mark him next turn, and then the following turn I should be able to hit him with... Well, I just realized Thrown Dagger can't hit position 1, which means I need to successfully move him with Rampart. Oh, start hitting with Vulnerability Hex, so he's marked.
A death by
And that's the end of the armored guy. His move resistance is only 50%. Rampart's move chance is 120, so it should work. And it did. And that is the end of that.
Formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
And of course, the drummer is trying to get revenge for his fallen comrade. Well, marking the wretch should be enough that the grave robber could finish him off next turn. And considering the fact that he's vomited on her, I think 2 or 3 times, I'd say she's looking for some revenge. I really should not have stunned the wretch. I should have stunned the drummer because the wretch will die before he gets a turn next round. Of course, having said that, it's going to turn out that it's not true because Thrown Dagger is about to miss. Just watch. Oh, nope. See, that's how you motivate people. You just tell them that you expect them to fail and they'll work extra hard just to prove you wrong. That's the secret of my... Is it really fair to call it success? That's the secret of my only marginal failure. And pry open the crates, and we have grain. And even more scouting. Well, let's go for the next grain. Yes, we do. We just moan grains. Grains.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Right, and grab the next bit of grain. We're having bread tonight. And we got a room battle with treasure coming up. And hunger. So, oh no, we don't want... Yeah, I don't know what we're supposed to do with this one, so I'm just going to do nothing with it. Surprise! Light ourselves up a torch. Start by poisoning the slasher. Once again, that gives him 2 turns to live. I'm actually going to try to take out the drummer first because of stress. And it wound up not mattering. Alright. Let's at least reduce the chopper's ability to cause damage. Now let's see if we can stun the slasher.
The way is lit. The path is clear.
And we did just barely enough damage that he will fall to blight next turn. Gotta admit, the Vestal and the Grave Robber are making a pretty good team. Kind of interesting, that melding of opposites. We have the priest and the person who steals from dead people.
Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
And more vomit. So of all of the attacks that we've been hit with, the one that we've had done the best job of dodging is the one that is literally sound. We're better at dodging sound than we are at dodging vomit. That is weird. But then again, I've learned not to ask questions about this game. Let's see if we can stun the drummer this time. On the little drummer pig. Alright, Rampart, I need you to succeed at knocking him back. Oh, you did both. And now, finish the combo.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
You know, this is going... I'm probably about to jinx it, but this is going so well that I haven't actually had to make the Vestal heal anyone yet. She's only used Dazzling Light. Okay, this time we stun the pig, because the pig will actually get a... Well, we attempt to stun the pig. And then I managed to Rampart a corpse because I literally missed. I'm using a keyboard and mouse, and I actually managed to miss the target. And just to rub it in, the swine wretch survived and gets to vomit one more time. Well, let's get rid of him.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
I'm actually gonna heal.
A momentary abatement.
And everyone's back to full health from using Divine Comfort once. Alright. And pick the face.
Confidence surges as the enemy
And Colin Bell making up for failing to kill the wretch by getting critical.
Seize this momentum.
I know it's an heirloom chest, I'm still using the keys just in case. And it's all heirlooms, so we don't need them. Alright. And we have groceries. We've officially completed our grocery run, but let's keep shopping, see if there's anything else that's good. Alright. I'm not sure whether this does a buff or reduces stress. I think it's a buff, but I'm giving it to Vestal anyway. Oh, that was that was a bad decision. Plus 30, so I gave the medic 30% extra damage. Alright. We are so in good shape, I'm gonna keep exploring. Because I want to see if we can get some good loot out of this.
Wealth beyond measure. Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
Don't need the extra food, so I'll just grab the gold. Light up another torch. And I'm probably not going to explore the whole dungeon, but we can make it a little farther before the stress levels get too high. Especially since we can afford to make camp before the end of the mission. Alright, I can hit the Acolyte with Thrown Dagger. So... let me see, the Brawler... wait, the Brawler will move himself forward when he uses Rend for the Old Gods. You know, no, stress is legitimately more of a threat than damage is right now. I'm hitting the Acolyte. Except... I can... the Acolyte is blighted for 3. Okay, this has damage minus 50%, minus 90, minus 75. I'm actually going to do this. Whoa! That went better than I expected. I was hoping to just do a little bit of damage and then hit it with Judgment and then let the Blight finish the job. I was not expecting it to do that. And Rampart, let's just see how many stuns we can accumulate in one round. And apparently the magic number is 1. Oh, 1 is better than 0. Let's go with the same strategy again for the chopper. And have it fail. Alright. However, because the other guy moved himself forward, we don't need to worry about using Rampart. Instead, I'm just going to hit him with Dazzling Light to see if we can deny him a turn. And what are the odds that Darcy here can take out the Swine Wretch?
Decimated.
The odds are good enough, apparently. He's not blighted, but he is marked. And that's about the amount of damage I was expecting you to do. See if we can Rampart this guy into being stunned. Sacrificial stab. And there we go. Unfortunately, I can't easily force the Brawler to use Stun and Scratch, but I can just kind of keep him stunned forever, because enemies on Novice missions have really low stun resistance.
Well struck.
And Colin Bell showing us her talent of getting criticals when we don't need them.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
And I may as well just eat the food immediately. And no point in taking the crests. I have yet to... So I have tried everything except firewood on this altar and have never found anything that's actually helpful. Alright. Curio and a room battle either way. I'm going to go with this one because we might find out what's in this cul-de-sac here. Yay, maggots. And they're not even plated maggots like we get in the cove. These are just regular maggots.
Another
Dead
one
maggots.
falls. Be gone, fiend.
Right. And let's just go with Judgment. And there we go.
With impunity.
I feel like there should be stress reduction if you manage to...
Victory. But a victory nonetheless.
I wouldn't exactly call that trifling. You really should get stress reduction if you manage to finish a mission with no one taking any
Radiance,
damage.
may we find
Or
victory.
not a mission, but a battle. Like, if you can kill the entire enemy on the first round of combat with them causing a total of 0 damage, that should cause stress reduction for your heroes. Alright. And there we have the trap disarm. One of the advantages of bringing a professional grave robber. I mean, Grave robbing is kind of what we're doing down here when you think about it. I mean, our options for experts are a grave robber or a crazy person. I decided to go with the grave robber. And a secret door, and we have a key. I could take the long way around, keep the fighting to a minimum, but that's boring. We're going through the room battle. Okay, this causes stress, I think. So, what you got for me this time, dungeon? Oh, more cultists. And more vomit. I feel like at this point we need to stop calling this place the Warrens and start just calling it the Vomitorium. I really don't need to do extra damage to this brawler to kill him. I can just do this. Alright, and as usual, I don't want the drummer giving anybody a headache. And I wonder if this will be enough to one-shot the brawler. He does have protection of 0. Wow, I knew the turn order had a random component. I didn't know it was that much. Well, a critical will definitely be enough to one-shot the cultist. I think Colin Bell heard me talking about her only getting criticals when they don't matter and decided she wanted to prove me wrong. Well, that's destroyed. And Boisseau has decided he wants to get in on this critical thing too. And so does Riviere. Just crits for days. Just getting criticals everywhere.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
And now we've got ourselves a happy little room battle and bandits. I guess they were emboldened by my my handling of the cannon, which I believe it's what we in the industry call. It's a very technical term that's technically called a clusterfuck. Well, let's see if we can get rid of one of the Fusiliers immediately. I don't want to be... I had to say it. I had to say it. So you don't want blanket fire? Here's more blanket fire, asshole. Well, let's see if we can nip that in the bud. We cannot. Fortunately, the other one at least missed. Well, you know what? This Fusilier being alive offends me. Riviere, could you please remove this affront to my authority? Thank you. Fortunately, the cutthroats are focusing on the most durable member of the team. And let's just go straight to the face, get rid of the cutthroat. Ooh. That's some damage. And unfortunately, we no longer have the trinkets that increase the Vestal's healing output, so damage is a bit more dangerous than it used to be. Okay, well, that's the end of the Fusilier. Of course, Slice and Dice is still dangerous as always. But so is Poison Dart. Nice if we could get healing, but then again,
remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Then again, I have an idea. I'm gonna go past the room with the secret door, and let's make camp. And while we're at camp, let's feast.
Gathered close in tenuous firelight.
Get everyone up to full
Uneasy
health.
Companionship.
Everyone except the Vestal has a stress level of 0 now. And let's go with Sanctuary to guarantee that we don't get any more midnight surprises. And let's go with Prey. Wait, that doesn't actually restore the Vestal's own stress. Well, Encourage does. And we're waking up with actual stress levels of 0. Well,
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
yeah, I'm not bothering with that curio or that hallway battle, but found a secret room, use a secret key, open a secret chest, and find some secret
Glittering
cash.
gold, trinkets and baubles, paid for in blood.
And I'm really glad that I decided to continue exploring. Well, quest completed. Time to go home.
Our supplies are replenished. The soldiers will feast tonight.
And the enemy will go hungry, which might actually be more useful. Well, not from a gameplay standpoint, because the game doesn't do anything to reflect the fact that the swine had to go hungry. But when you think about it, I mean, the introduction to the mission talks about taking away their food as a way of weakening the swine. It'd be interesting if this quest, like, had a chance of making the next quest in the Warrens easier because of that. And yep, everyone gains a level, and everyone's stress level is 0 out of 200. Yeah, we just had a nice, relaxing trip through the Warrens, you know? No big deal. Unfortunately, Boissel has the fits. Oh, that ain't good. Riviera's a weak grip on life. I'm gonna need to get that fixed. However, before that, she's gonna need to go on another mission.
A modest offering from those few surrounding farms as yet untouched by the spreading calamity.
And the cost of provisions is gonna be 0. Now first, let's get Boissel treated for disease. Let's get rid of the fits. Now, we do have a bit of a problem. We don't have 4 people with a resolve level lower than 3, but Riviere, the Vestal who absolutely needs to be trained up, has a resolve level of 2. Now, the thing about Riviere, the thing about that is, at resolve level 2, she can go on intermediate difficulty missions, but it might not be a good idea to do that. So, let's see if we have, what options we have for the stagecoach. What I'm thinking is, I might be willing to give up someone more experienced who is of an unuseful class for someone less experienced of a more useful class. However, sort by class. So, oh right, the people who are currently in the party don't really count. Let's see, I could easily give up one of my 4 Hellions. So I could give up one of my 4 Hellions for a Seeker Highwayman, because Highwaymen are pretty useful and we only have 1. On the other hand, he would be resolve level 0, which means that in the process of training him up alongside Riviere, he would just end up being in the same state that Riviere is in now, where he's trapped at low level because there's no one else who's low enough level to train with him. So, honestly, I think it's just time to go for the more gutsy option and just take Riviere to a medium difficulty mission with the portrait. Since I believe medium difficulty missions give more resolve experience anyway, that'll level Riviere up right quick if she manages to survive and keep her sanity. Of course, we're going to have to tolerate her weak grip on life for a little while. So, let's go back to sorting by level. And, let's upgrade Riviere's equipment. And while we're at it, Darcy's probably going with us, though. Yeah, I definitely want to bring a man-at-arms on our next mission because, frankly, I want to be able to use Defender, and it looks like Darcy is our only man-at-arms who's at the right level. The question is who else to bring. We have a decent number of options. I think I would definitely want to bring someone who is Resolve level 4. Just so if we have a Resolve level 2, I also want someone who is nice and high level to balance that out. And it's not going to be Seguier, but someone who can actually fight. So we have a Vestal, a Man-at-Arms, and then either a Leper or a Houndmaster. Well, the question of which one of those ultimately comes down to who else we can bring. So let's see. So if I were to bring a Vestal, an Occultist, a Houndmaster, and a Leper, the Houndmaster would be in position 2. Where the only ability he has that he can't use is Cry Havoc. You would trade Cry Havoc for Blackjack. I think that is the combination that I want. So Bernier, Fuchot, Torteval, and Riviere. I've already upgraded their equipment, so let's look at their skills. Of course, you all already know what exactly I'm leveling up for my Vestal. And Bernier is already... Bernier and Fuchot are both maxed out. Torteval is also. So that's all the spending I need for the people who are actually going on the next mission. So... let's see. Columbell could use some treatment, but I kind of want to save that for when she's a little more useful. Let's see. Bertrand has some quirks we could need to get rid of. Let's see. Colliard doesn't really have any quirks that are too impressive either way. Honestly, neither does Vestal. Oh yeah, Bowen's Hylomania, however, that is gonna need some treatment. Let's get Bowen's Hylomania fixed. And that leaves us with enough gold to at most treat one other person. Misses the spot is pretty bad for Sordeval, but let's consider other possibilities. Let's see. Fated is pretty good. It might be worth locking that in. Okay, Tippler and Known Cheat are pretty much... they make each other kind of meaningless. Alright. Same thing with Flagellant and Witness. And Fuchot is going on the mission even though he has some pretty significant negative quirks. Honestly, I think I want to lock in Canouville's Fated. We can't afford it, actually. Never mind. What would it cost to get rid of Bertrand's Egomania? 4,500 would leave us with 5,500, which with free provisioning... I can't do math, but with free provisioning that's good. I don't want to spend too much because I just know that if I actually spend our gold down to 0 on a mission when we have a bumper quap... A bumper quap! Have a bumper quap! On a mission where we have a bumper crop, I keep doing it. Bumper crop. Crop. I know that if I spend us down to 0 on a mission where we have a bumper crop, what's going to end up happening is we will wipe on that mission, and then we'll just be screwed because I won't be able to provision for the next one. So, anyway, I'm going to continue speed training our new Vestal, but first I want to get us up a fresh recording file. I will be back in a moment.
Once, our estate was the envy of this land.
Now it's just an example of what happens when you try to mess with the Eldritch. Anyway, I'm back. I have a fresh recording file. Let's explore. I'm going to drop these two off. Actually, Darcy is staying in, along with... Where is he? Oh, right, he's resolve level 5. Bernier and Tortiva. Actually, no, not Bernier. Fuchot and Tortiva. Alright. Fuchot has the right abilities, now let's give him the right trinkets. Sort by character class restriction. Spiked collar could actually be pretty good. What else should I give him? Let's see. What else can I give him that's good? Honestly, the bleed amulet. Well, it could be useful, except that we are probably going to end up in the Warrens. You know, the Manslayer's Ring could actually be pretty good because a lot of enemies are human in addition to being beast. Except almost all of the enemies are beasts, so the Beast Slayer's Ring would be even better. And for you... Let's see. Siren's Conch could be useful for the reduced stress as well as the debuff resistance. And Wilbur's Flag could be useful just for the stun resistance and dodge. I'll just go with that. I don't have anything specific to his role, but this could still be helpful. And... let me see. I think I'm going to trade the Cruise Bell for the Tough Ring. To give his max HP even higher, and to make him just generally even more survivable. Honestly, between the Man-at-Arms and the Vestal, we already have all the camping skills we need, but I like this combination also. And the only one I would consider giving him, Hound's Watch, he hasn't learned. So, let's do this. I'm not going to go for Sunshine in the Thicket just yet. If I were ready to take on the cannon, I would go for Sunshine in the Thicket first to make it easier to take on the cannon. Let's see. So, a long scouting mission in the ruins, or medium, 2 medium exploration missions that can give me a Manslayer's Ring or a Sharpening Sheath. I believe we already have a Sharpening Sheath. We do. Against my better judgment, but in part because it'll probably make this episode a bit more entertaining, I'm going to the ruins, and we're doing the long mission. And because I thought I was going with the Warrens, I went with the Beast Slayer's Ring, but instead, I'm going to go for the Necromancer's Collar. And I'm also going to get rid of the Spiked Collar because bleeding is useless. Instead, let's see. Let's see. Eldritch, no. We don't really have a good Unholy Slayer's Ring. I don't actually want his speed to be too high because I want him to go after the Occultist. I'll just give him the Book of Sanity. Actually, wait a second. Where's our other... Where's Boissel? I'm taking away Boissel's Hero's Ring. And I'm going to give that to our Houndmaster. Yep, I'm gambling on Virtue Chance again. Watch it blow up in my face, as things always do. And provision. And since the supplies are free, we're taking everything. I don't believe there's more bleeding than there is blight there. A lot of holy water interactions. I don't recall any interactions for medicinal herbs, but I may as well bring a couple of them because they're free. Also, there's really no reason not to bring a full stack ever because it's free. The question is, do I want a third stack of food because we're unlikely to be able to... Yes, I do. We're unlikely to be able to replenish food in the field, and it's free. I'm going to bring 3 full stacks of food. I'm going to try to take as few chances as I can because we're already taking a very large risk doing this at all with the main healer being significantly underleveled. This is going to be a bit of a thing. And also, because this is an exploration mission, it isn't possible for us to get lucky like we did last time.
Pace out the halls of your lineage once familiar, now foreign.
Okay, this is going to be interesting. I think I know what I want to do to minimize backtracking. Let's just go along here, down, along here, peek into this room, and then over and up. Basically a big zigzag pattern. I'm not touching the bookshelf. I don't know how to interact with that. Okay. I want everyone to take a moment, pause, look at the screen right now. Does anything jump out to you? Anything that might be, missing that you might expect to see on the screen that you do not see? Maybe in this general area of the screen. I forgot torches again. Because I am smart. On a long exploration mission, I forgot to bring torches. This is gonna be a bit of a challenge. So, welcome to my unintentional challenge run of Darkest Dungeon. Let's demons pull the noble so we can kill him. Because I really don't like attempting goblet. And we do have Dazzling Light, and we can make camp to automatically set the torch level to its highest level. That did just barely not enough damage. Fortunately, Knife in the Dark does almost nothing. I'll stick with Dazzling Light, try to get the torch level as high as I can mid-fight. Stun resistance is 120%. This is 140% base. Not worth it. Hound's Rush on the Spearman. Because I can do that. And you can still Rampart the Commander. And of course, the Spearman can comfortably attack from position 4 because Spear. Would really have been a good idea to actually check which abilities Tortival had equipped, but I didn't do that.
Give them no quarter.
Yes. Welcome to my channel, anyone who's new. I am someone who can manage to have a bumper crop and still be woefully unprepared. That's just kind of my thing. I believe the torch level is actually maxed out. Well, it's 82, so it's the highest class, but not the highest actual value. Weakening Curse. And Crush. That's not going to do much, but Hound's Rush will do more.
Prodigious size alone
A
does
lot
not
more.
dissuade the sharpened blade.
And unfortunately, we didn't find a torch.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Let's drop Abyssal Artillery for Vulnerability Hex because I actually need it. Weird Reconstruction is good because the Vestal is going to have to be spending some time compensating for my fuck-up and increasing the torch level. I'll just feed the food to the Houndmaster immediately. Alright. This is gonna be, this one's gonna be interesting. This is one of those situations where more battles is actually a good thing. Because it means I have chances to increase the torch level. Also, still no scouting. And we haven't found any torches as loot, so... we're getting close to torch level 0. To the point where I may have to make camp. If we don't have a torch or a fight in this room, I have to make camp in this room because the torch level is too low. Well, that's what we're doing.
A spark without kindling.
Feast, we got plenty of food and we want to reduce the stress levels. Alright, Sanctuary. Therapy dog, reduce everyone's stress now and later. Let's go some weapons practice. And that should do it, and we finally have some light.
In radiance, may we find victory.
Unfortunately, there isn't going to be very much radiance in this mission, barring some pretty impressive luck.
A fortune
which we haven't had yet.
waiting to be spent.
You know, at this point, this is the point where if I find a torch, I would honestly call that wealth beyond measure. Okay. Combat. Unfortunately, we're severely out of position, so this is going to be a bit of a challenge. And of course, stressful incantation already. Oh, and that lowers the torch level too, because the game hates me on a very personal level. Vulnerability hex on the Enchantress. I want her gone as soon as possible. Okay. Dazzling light will raise the torch level and cause a little damage. And finish.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Now we're at least close to being in position, but unfortunately, the occultist is looking a little exposed. Gladiator should be the next one to die, because actually, no, really the noble should be. Vulnerability hex on the noble. I don't need to worry about the occultist moving back because I can use Rampart to move Darcy forward. Yes, I'm still calling my Man-at-Arms Sword of All in memoriam, I guess. Okay, Dazzling Light on the Bulwark. Probably resisted stun anyway. And Rampart on the Gladiator. I'm gonna turn that Gladiator into a Sadiator. I'm not apologizing for that pun. Hound's Rush on the one thing that's susceptible to bleeding. And there we go. Now let's see if we can stun the Bulwark. We can! Weird Reconstruction, because you're the only one that's damaged. Oh, come on, Tortival, you can do better than that. Dazzling Light, because of damage and Torchlight. Let's see if you can get a better healing roll for that. Okay, 7. 7 is good. Of course, Fuchsia over here is getting 11.
Their formation is broken.
And I meant to switch to Crush, but I didn't. But just gaze at that 4 damage critical from Rampart.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
This one doesn't have any interactions, and you know what? I'm risking it. There's a chance that it will have a torch instead
Finding
of
the
as
stuff
gold.
is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Okay. This one is a battle, so that's the way we're going. Every battle is a chance to raise the torch level. You know, I'm thinking maybe after I finish this, I should do a no torch challenge run because it won't actually be any different than a normal playthrough for me. Okay, I'm actually going to go with Vulnerability Hex on the Gladiator first. Don't worry, there is method to my madness. Of course, forgetting to move the Occultist back into position 3, that was just madness. There's really no method there.
Waits for the slightest lapse in concentration.
However, it'd be nice if this could actually stun. That's what I'm aiming for. Let's just get the gladiator out of the fight as soon as possible. And we have two different heroes who have solidly good stunning abilities. And in addition, the Slavering Ghoul is guaranteed to be within range of everything you've got, pretty much. Just keep attempting to stun it. One of them will eventually stick. Hound's Rush.
The ground quakes.
Mercy is for the course. And I'm still going to use one more Dazzling Light just to try and get the torch level a little higher. And finish
The bigger
him.
the beast, the greater the glory.
Okay, drop the crests. We already have 6 keys. We don't need more than that. Yep. Welcome to the only person in the world who can manage to have a bumper crop and still go into the next mission underprepared. We got another hallway battle. Dim, darker. Yes! Wealth beyond measure. Lighting it up immediately. Okay. Gargoyles. This is a rather dangerous composition of enemies. It's an unholy stonework. And I managed to accidentally use the wrong ability. Honestly, it's worth it. I have a plan. Because they're unholy, Judgment does that to them. Unfortunately, Judgment is not, Rampart. We're gonna wear this thing down a little bit. We cannot. And Flurry of Claws again. Gargoyles are dangerous. Well, I suppose the intended mitigating factor for how dangerous they are is the fact that they are fragile. But then again, with the amount of protection they have, they aren't really all that fragile. Crush. And all of this was just to get its health low enough that Judgment will kill it. Now it's gone. Now I just need to deal with the ghoul. Which is not something I ever thought that I would say. Oh, yay. Horror and reduced torch level. That leaves Dazzling Light. That's pretty much our only option to try to get the torch level back up. It's going to take a couple of hits to finish the ghoul off. Praise the steadfast hound. Alright. If this could stun, that'd be great. I'm going to extend the duration of Mark. Because I can finish the Houndmaster off pretty much the next time that the Houndmaster gets a turn. However, I'm going to give a turn to Weird Reconstruction. That was a good Weird Reconstruction. And a turn to Dazzling Light, so that we can get a little more torch level. And I flew too close to the sun and have now been burned because I was gambling on...
fear consumes the mind.
Because I was gambling on the Houndmaster going first, and he didn't. What has
These
hubris
nightmarish
wrought?
creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
I'm gonna drop the Citrine for the Onyx. Okay, I'm gonna gamble that we can survive whatever's between us and this room. Came from nothing, I'll not die with nothing.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Loot, not containing the one thing I actually wish that I had. This is one of those times where I wish I had the Grave Robber's ability to produce a random supply item, because that would at least have a chance of being a torch. Alright. Okay. An empty room and no scouting. And successful scouting, not that it tells us much. Okay, let's make camp.
Circle in the dark.
If I sound terrified,
may
that's
yet
only
be
because
won.
I am. Sanctuary. Therapy dog. Encourage. And pray. And now we rest. This is gonna be,
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
if we pull this off, it is going to be by a very narrow margin. And we get to open up the dazzling light for once. At some point, I am actually going to return us to our original formation. I just keep forgetting to do it. Well, you know, I may as well do that now, because the occultist doesn't really have anything else helpful he can do. And bumping the night will continue to do almost nothing. However, Crush will do that. And while I'd like to use Judgment on the conscripts, just because it's cool to do that, our torch level is below 100 and is therefore too low. May as well use Weakening Curse because it's just another source of damage. We're not in danger of reinforcements just yet, so I can afford to stall a little bit. You don't have elevated stun resistance, so let's stun you. The torch level up to a nice, cozy 94. And there we go. And Blackjack. And Weakening Curse. Congratulations, you just got killed by Weakening Curse.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's
I'm not
end.
going to bother with that because there's no way it contains a torch or can otherwise give us a torch. So let's see, how many rooms are there actually? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and there were 2 down there, leaving us with a total of 18, of which we need to explore 90%, which means there are 10% we can leave unexplored. Well, 10% of 18 is 1.8, which I'm just going to round up to 2, and say that we can skip a maximum of 2 rooms.
Watch your step.
It's hard to do that when some idiot forgot to pack the torches. Oh, right, that was me. And now we get to deal with Quarrel again. Well, let's start by at least making sure we don't have to deal with, whatever it's called, Tempting Goblet. And welcome to the stun now. Of course, I'm gonna then redundantly use Dazzling Light. You are damned! And that just leaves 1 Quarrel.
Quickly the tide turns.
Just 1 Quarrel. And a Graveyard Slash. Well, he isn't marked, but we can still damage him. Weird Reconstruction. You know, Weird Reconstruction has done us a lot of good. And I'm going to gamble that I can actually stun him again. And I'm going to lose that bet. But you know me, I don't know when to quit gambling, so I'm just going to keep hitting him with stunning abilities until something sticks. Foul warding. That could be a bit of an issue. Fortunately, the veteran is finally out of stealth. And we should be able to finish him off soon. In your case, let's just go with Vulnerability X. Because the Houndmaster should be able to take the Bulwark now next turn. Unfortunately, the Marksman is still a problem. Because the Marksman is always a problem. Except that now that the Bulwark is stunned, he isn't even blocking the Marksman.
Blow.
Not that that does us any good, because the next person on our side who gets to attack is going to be the Houndmaster. Called it. That should be enough that we can finish him off. And there's really no option for you other than weird reconstruction. And we still managed to miss, but at least it increased the torch level. Alright, that leaves just the Arablest. And a corpse managed to disappear just because of how long it had been hanging around. It's been a long time since I've seen that happen. Just keep up the dazzling light. And there we go.
This expedition at least promises success.
Alright, what do we got here? Unlocked strongbox. The contents are mine. Unfortunately, no torches. And these two bottom rooms are pretty much the only thing that we can skip, which means I'm also going to have to do a little bit of backtracking. Okay, crate. And in the crate is the least useful thing possible. Thank you, Darkest Dungeon. Yeah, I know you're punishing me for my hubris. If you're punishing me for my hubris, it's gonna take a while. I have a lot of hubris. And bayonet jab. But I can still reach you with crush. Alright, that's one quarrel we don't have to deal with anymore.
Decisive pummeling.
I wish these guys would just stop arguing with me. It's all these quarrels that keep causing me so much trouble. Alright. Hound's Rush does a little bit, but we need it to do more. And why don't you, Tordeval, why don't you heal the medic? At this point, she isn't the medic, she's just like our living torch. She's our guiding light, or whatever you want to call it. Alright, zap the conscript. And crush the other conscript. I'm actually going to use one of the dog treats, because that increases damage and accuracy. A critical would be greatly appreciated right now. That works too. Smartass. Vulnerability Hex, just because it's nice and insulting to kill an enemy with Vulnerability Hex. Even with your elevated stun resistance, this still has a 40% chance of stunning you. Let's see if my number comes up. And it does. And there we go. Devil's Due.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
So, let's grab the extra gold. Okay, so I'm gonna go with no on the Eldritch Altar. And I just walked past a curio, seemingly without noticing it, but I'm not backtracking for it. Oh, this is an odd combination. Maggots and Shamblers. Shamblers, ghouls. Alright. Get rid of the maggot.
With impunity.
Okay, everybody who has a stun ability, target the ghoul. You want to keep it stunned. Alright. Target the ghoul for death. And, surprise, surprise, our torch level is getting a little low. Alright, Darcy narrowly avoids being gravely nibbled. And let's see how much damage this does. Ooh, that much. Also, let's just take a moment to appreciate that in this situation, with everything going terribly, horribly, no good, very bad, wrong, the stress levels are still pretty low. So much so that if nothing goes seriously wrong, I might actually be able to send these people on another mission. Yes, Riviere might be able to go on 3 consecutive missions.
Back to the pit.
That's... Riviere, if you keep this up, you are going to go very far in this industry. You've definitely got the temperament to be an effective hero. Vulnerability hex. He's only marked for 1 round. Let's get mark him again. And finish the job. There we go.
A victory. Perhaps the turning point.
We have gotten a pretty good collection of loot. And if we survive, this is going to be some pretty amazing experience. We have just a little bit more, but unfortunately, we're always flirting with total darkness, and if we actually reach total darkness, then shamblers can happen. And if a shambler happens, I don't think there's anything I can do about it.
His efficacy unwitnessed by his own eyes.
Okay, this is getting dangerous.
The darkness holds much worse than mere trickery.
Yeah.
And boogeymen.
Admittedly, what is the chance of a shambler showing up in pitch black? Like 5%? Okay. This is actually a good thing. Blackjack the Enchantress because she can lower the torch level. Crush the Enchantress because she can lower the torch level. Alright, the Enchantress can't lower the torch level this round. I'll let the Vestal finish her off. That doesn't stop Quarrel, though. Alright. Vulnerability hex on the Gladiator so we can probably kill him next round. And let's get that torch level above 0, shall we? Yes, we've made... Things are improving. The torch level is at 6. Demons pull the marksman. Where's method to my madness? Hounds rush the gladiator. And even with bayonet jab, because that cleared the corpses, I can reach the marksman with crush. We'll take another one to finish him off. And Hugh Show is getting into some danger. But while he gets his one last attack, which misses anyway. Alright. Dazzling Light can miss, that it still increases the torch level. And now all we have to deal with is the veteran, who isn't really that dangerous by himself. Weird reconstruction. Okay, big money. That's exactly the kind of damage roll I needed. Well, damage? It's literally the opposite of damage. That's exactly the kind of healing roll I needed from Weird Reconstruction. Target whistle, because it doesn't cause any damage. Weird Reconstruction, because it causes negative damage, usually. Dazzling Light, and we can only really afford to do this once, I think, before more enemies show up. And Crush.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Okay, I know it's an heirloom chest, but I'm still going to gamble that it might contain something else useful. And it does! Drop the medicinal herbs for the sapphires. I said drop the medicinal herbs for the sapphires. We're almost there. We're also almost dead. We are really right on the edge here. It's okay, guys. We're almost out of this. I know it's dark. We can make it. We're almost there. Ah. And the lock mechanism is trapped. Nice job. Nice job. Okay, and we're gonna have a room battle with Zero Torch again.
Shadows, but yonder, a glint of gold.
Fortunately, I don't believe a room battle can be a shambler. Only a hallway battle can become a shambler. So, whoa. Whoa.
Diminished.
Whoa, that ain't good. Okay. Gonna focus on the Enchantress. She can lower the torch level, the Noble can't. Oh, and that also forced him to use Stumbling Scratch. Alright, the Enchantress is out. That's good. Now we just have the Noble to worry about. In the meantime, let's stun the gladiator because he's the one who can do the most damage. Foul warding on the gladiator. That just inherently seems weird to me because of how tanky the gladiator is. Oh, it's Blackjack the Bulwark. Because if I can stun him, the gladiator is no longer protected. Unfortunately, the gladiator doesn't really need to be protected. And Tempting Goblet continues to ever be a problem. Let's see if we can stun the gladiator, because I can't reach the other guy. But I can reach him with this.
Masterfully executed.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like Riviera is actually going to need some rest after this mission. It was she almost made it, but then managed to go from 0 to 90 over the course of a single round of combat. Alright. And we've turned the gladiator into a satiator. Now we can deal with the bulwark.
Our life is taken.
Oh. Bulwark still isn't immune to stun, and I still am not immune to misclicking and accidentally using crush. Alright. Well, we have 3 people who can stun, so I think we can keep this guy stunned fairly well. Unfortunately, one of them is also our main healer. At plus 50%, still, Rampart still could stun him. It just didn't. Alright. And there we go. That's the end of that. And we found a torch!
Foolish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
Okay. So we need to go here and then up to here, and there's one hallway battle left. And this time the torch level won't reach 0 before we get to the hallway battle. Okay, holy water. That'll get us some loot. Ooh, that'll get us a lot of loot. Okay, don't need the shovels. And I'll give up the last of the dog treats for the citrine. Okay, and the hallway battle is just these guys. Alright. Let's see if we can kill them without taking any damage. That's not a good start. Pull the most dangerous one forward. Dazzling Light that one because torch level. And go squish a spider, Darcy. Right. Is Grave Nibble going to... It is. Grave Nibble actually caused a resolve check. Grave Nibble actually caused a hero to become afflicted. Even the weakest attacks can be dangerous when you're on your last legs. Well, get rid of one of them. And the whip, the cat, the lash, the scourge. Well, looks like I'm not healing the Vestal. Got a nice 6 healing critical from Weird Reconstruction. And you didn't stun the maggot. Well, let's just crush the maggot.
Another abomination.
And there we go.
Cleansed from our lands.
Okay. So assuming a hallway battle isn't between these two, we're okay. And there isn't one. Of course, I'm going to discover that we actually can only skip one room because it rounds down, and we have to backtrack all the way down here to finish the mission. And we actually... Wait, so we found a map, so we actually managed to get scouting for every tile of the entire dungeon.
Secrets and wonders can be found in the most tenebrous corners of this place.
Okay. Okay. It took a second for the quest complete thing to play out because it wanted to give Riviera a chance to say Dark is their ally, and I just about had a heart attack thinking that I had to go all the way back here. But we survived. Once again, heroes have managed to overcome great adversity caused entirely by my own deep personal stupidity. Like I said, if the game is punishing me for my hubris, we're gonna be here a while,
The great
because
ruins
it's a
belong
lot
to
of
us,
hubris.
and we will find whatever secrets they hold.
We got 11,250 gold, plus what we actually found while we were in the dungeon, and that was a lot. And yeah, this time the Vestal and honestly the Man-at-Arms are gonna need some stress treatment. And now 2 people have a weak grip on life. And Tordeval has a not really useful at all positive quirk. Alright. Let's get some treatment.
I see something long absent in the sunken faces of passers-by.
Hatred?
A glimmer of hope.
Oh, hope. Actually, hatred wouldn't be long absent. I'm sure there was plenty of hatred in the people looking at you, Ancestor. Anyway, I'm gonna quick treat Riviere's stress, because she finally needs it. And let's get rid of Darcy's disease. Plus 30% stress. Yeah, that could be a bit of a problem. Is anybody else diseased? Darcy is also the one who has a weak grip on life, isn't he? Which is... I mean... Weak grip on life is one of the worst quirks that you can have. No, he's not. It's, where is he? Yeah, Fuchsia is the one with weak grip on life, as well as a couple of different rather destructive manias. Weak grip on life, I think, is the worst quirk it is possible to have, probably. But at least it's not on the Man-at-Arms, because the Man-at-Arms is probably the worst hero to have that quirk. But let's get rid of the weak grip on life while it is inexpensive to do so. And you know what? We're actually fairly wealthy. I'm going to also lock in Irrepressible. I know I joke about virtue chances always 0, but in all seriousness, a locked-in 5% virtue chance increase could be very helpful. So I'm just going to go with that for now. However, after treating some of the immediate and obvious consequences of that mission, this is going to be the end for this part. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. And I'll see you next time when the repairs to the operation resume.